Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emmy, as most of you already know, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. You can't even see my face. We are going to be talking about how I got started with my cash envelopes. So we are going to throw up a question that I got actually here in just a minute. But we're going to go ahead and just hop into it so I can explain how I got started, why I got started, and so on and so forth. So, first things first is, why did I start doing the cash envelope stuffing videos, or even just doing it in general? So, when I first started doing it, I honestly didn't even have binders like this. I just got papers and made my homemade envelopes at home and did it that way. And I had very small categories that I wanted to save up for without having to blow my paycheck. And at that time, the only debt that I had was my credit card, which I was paying off every month. So I was doing the cash envelopes to save up money for things that either I wanted or like our house down payment or things like that. And then it gave me money left over to spend. So up to date, it's been about 8 years since I started, which is crazy. But between that year, me and Austin got a house. So we have tons of bills now compared to what we did have when we were living with my parents. And then I had to get my car fix loan, and we also had our cars. We were paying on our cars. That was another thing we were paying for when we were at my parents' house. So what got me into this is just saving. And as we are tackling on more debt, because we are owning our own home and things like that, it's just a smart idea to have a savings and an emergency fund and those kind of things, because you never know what's going to happen. So our emergency goal for me is $2,000. Am I going to reach that in a year? I don't know, but that's just my goal to have. Just in case something happens, because even though $2,000 is a lot of money, it's not always going to fix everything. So that's my goal for our emergency fund, just because with owning a house, there's so many things that come along with it. Or if someone were to fall sick and not be able to go to work for a week, it covers us for that week or whatever we need. And that's a really important thing about when you're doing this. I do suggest, if you have like a ton of money in these, like, it just depends on your personal preference with how much you're okay with holding at your house and in your wallet. My personal preference, I don't know exactly yet. I have quite a bit of money in my car maintenance, but I'm actually going to be using that soon. So it just depends on your personal preference. So I have a savings account, and if it hits over the max amount of what I am comfortable with what's in here, I will deposit it into my bank account and put it into my savings, and I know what it's for. And that's the problem with, like, right now, I have money in my savings, but it's not like for a dedicated thing. So I'm using it for things I want, or like wedding stuff. I've been using it to buy a bunch of wedding stuff here recently. Just because then I don't have to worry about it later and where I'm going to come up with the money. So I got started with this because I was thinking about, where am I wanting to be in the next even year? Because I was trying to tackle my car debt. I was trying to tackle my car fix loan debt. I owed Mom for my wisdom teeth removal, so as well as that. So there were several things that I was thinking about in the process of starting this. So my thing is if you're going to start this, the best place to start is budgeting. So you're going to want to lay out, and I'll show you because I have this. You're going to want to lay out your budget for the month. where your bills lie, how much you can pull out each check depending on how many hours you work. I work a full-time job. I work 7 to 4 Monday through Friday, and I'm grateful for that. So I get a constant paycheck, and Austin as well has a pretty constant paycheck. So we budget for under what we're actually going to be making. So off of my income that I make, typically I make around about 300, but we actually budgeted for when I made less. So when we budgeted for 265. So that extra room is just in case something were to happen. So say I had a 2-hour delay, or, unexpected things happen. I couldn't go to work a day. It always makes a difference in your budget. So always budget things. So like I budget mine in 4 weeks because I get paid every single week. Sometimes I have to budget in 5 because I get paid every week. Austin has to budget 2 because Austin only gets paid every other week. So sometimes the budget is 3, depends on the month. But I would go out, lay out all your bills, and I actually have it here. I made a page that states all our bills. It has our home loan, our water, what we approximately were estimating for it, our trash, our cell phones, the TV, and this also has when they are due at each month, and the internet, and then my bills were my car payment, car insurance, my car fix loan, and then my credit card. And then Austin's payments were his car, his insurance, his credit card, the ring payment for my engagement ring, and then also our electric bills on here. We approximately estimated $125 a month, and we are way under what we thought it was going to be. Like, not way under, but like way over what we thought it was going to be. So our electric bill has been more. So you want to lay out all of your bills like that. And then if you're going to do sinking funds like I do for like emergency, pet emergency, all those kind of things, you want to do it by priority. So one of my biggest priorities was my car envelope because I needed new car tires. And of course the priorities can always change, especially like right now I'm trying to pay my mom off. I owe her like $220 or something because she took the animals to the vet for me. But that's one of my priorities. So I give that one more money than I would like YouTube or something. So that's that. And that's the thing, is the cash envelope system is meant for making it work with your budget. So if you don't have all kinds of debt like me and Austin have, it may have you having a spending fund or this, that, and the other thing. I personally don't put money away for spending, just because if I did, it would be gone every week. And that's just me personally. And Austin, he gives me all the money for bills, and then whatever he has left, he does for spending, which is fine. I mean, that's up to him. That's his check. So it works out that way. So as long as all the bills are paid, like according to our budget, that's all we really worry about. I've been trying to make extra payments towards my fixed loan so I can pay it off faster, which I don't have a debt snowball envelope. I wish I did, but unfortunately I've not been able to do that yet. But I do, as I can, make extra payments to that so I can pay it off faster, so I can pay off my car faster, which makes sense to me. But that's the thing with this, is you always have to be willing to sometimes not give things money just because you may not have that money. So I'm going to throw in a question that somebody had asked. I'm going to put it up here. So the question was if we pull out the money and pay cash all the time, or if we pull it out and deposit it back, or how do we do that? So I pretty much manage all of our money, bill wise, and then he does it for like things like the AT&T TV. We budget for it, but he pays it. So on that aspect, it depends on who's paying it for us. So we aren't married yet. We will be next year. So on that aspect, we don't have a joint account. So what comes out of his account comes out of his account. But what comes out of my account is separate. So like I pay the house loan, I pay the water, I pay the electric, I pay my car insurance, the fixed loan, my credit card, I pay the trash, and I think that's all I pay out of mine. But with that, it just depends. So a lot of times, since I do have extra money in my account as a, not a holder, but as a cushion, depending on how much the payment is, I may just use that cushion and then deposit the money back. So with me, I pull out all the money that I need to put in my envelopes to pay my bills. And then I personally, even if it's 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to be going back to the bank anyways to pull out money. So I'm just going to deposit that money and then get what I need back. And I know this seems a little silly, but that's just how it works for me. And if as you're doing your own cash budgeting or your budget at all, if you put in your savings and know you're not going to touch it, then that's different. You could do it that way instead of having to pull it out and then put it back. But for me, it just personally works better if I pull it out, budget it out like I'm supposed to in my cash envelopes, and then I just redeposit it before I have to pay it or before it pulls out. So like my car insurance, I deposit it at least 2 days ahead. So that way it doesn't overdraft or anything. So that's pretty much how I got started on this. I mean, it's super fun, and I really like when I'm able to do challenges. So like the dollar savings challenge or the 52 weeks challenge. But because we're so strapped for cash right now, I haven't been able to do any of that, which is okay. I mean, you do what you can. So if you guys have any more questions about my cash envelope stuffing or what do I do or how do I do it, please leave a comment below. Don't be afraid to ask me questions. I definitely am all about asking questions, especially because it definitely is different. It's not for everybody, but it definitely is something that I'm okay with. So if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below what videos you guys would like to see, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.